News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Chris Crock Show, hour number 3 of the program. So I have I'm going to do the latest real fast because I feel like I was kind of sampling something. I guess it went on the air there. I apologize about that. I'm going to give you 2 cuts. One's from Kristen Goodwin with Fox News. The other one from Bill Malugin. I think what you're going to hear here is, unfortunately, that it jives with what I heard earlier, but he doesn't say it. That Bob talks about 8 kids shot, 22 victims, 1 dead right now. But it talks about 7 in critical condition. I heard that most of them, if not all of them, are the children, but I can't confirm that. But I heard it on the fly in either CNN or Fox today in the coverage that was breaking throughout the afternoon. Let me play towards the end of the day. Let me play Malugin and then Kristen Goodwin from Fox to get the latest, and then we'll get into the illegal invasion is really hurting Denver now painfully, and that's wonderful. Let me play Malugin first.
Officials. There are at least 22 victims who were injured in the shooting. That includes 8 with immediate life-threatening injuries. Tragically, at least 1 person has died so far, and local media are reporting that many of the injured are children. Authorities say as of right now, at least 3 people are in custody in connection with the shooting. They've also recovered at least 1 gun on scene. The motive and what initially caused all this is still under investigation. A local hospital in Kansas City says they've been treating 11 children, 9 of which had gunshot wounds. Thankfully, we got some good news on that front. The hospital said that all of those kids are expected to survive and make a full recovery.
Also, Kristen Goodwin from Fox.
Kansas City radio station KKFI taking to Facebook to say DJ and host Lisa Lopez Galvin was killed in the shooting at the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory parade. Posting, "This senseless act has taken a beautiful person from her family and this KC community." Police say 22 people were hit by gunfire.
We do have 3 persons detained.
Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves says the investigation has not yet determined a motive, noting they've recovered at least 1 firearm and are asking anyone with information or video of the incident to come forward. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Okay, that's the latest there. So, it just came in the last hour from Fox. Now, by the way, I want to just reiterate again. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think it's very important to reiterate this. Travis Kelce was out of control, drunk, and had the mic taken from him he was held up on the stage there, and then this terrorist attack happens. What a great way to send us off, huh? Don't you wish your last memory, if you were him, wouldn't you wish your last memory was not falling down sloppy drunk, singing, and not able to sing and getting taken the mic away, having the mic take away from you before this happened, right? Wouldn't you rather have been maybe you're a little tipsy and you're like, hey, thank you, and then move on, right? No, he had to make it about himself. That would fit. I'm not saying he's an abusive or anger management guy problem, but he sure looked like at the Super Bowl, didn't he, with shoving his coach? And then people that are, and I'm not saying he is, but if these men that are the center of attention, have to be the center of attention, all important and everything like that. Everybody look at me, I'm important. Push the wife to the side, look at me, how important I am, and then rip-roaring drunk, but still has to be the center of the attention. That's a serious red flag, right? Denver, I'm very happy to report this, and I mean this, because I want pain for the sanctuary cities so they can bring Joe Biden, they can be brought to their knees, and then finally just demand Joe Biden publicly stop the invasion, which it's too late anymore. It's too close to the election to stop the invasion and to make a change. He's going to do all sorts of things in the next month or 2 or 3 in executive actions. It's all too late. No one's going to care anymore. They're done. They know who was the amnesty invasion guy. It's Joe Biden. Everybody knows it. Okay? The impeachment of Mayorkas was brilliant. It was awesome. It is a stain on his record forever. It is a stain on Biden's record forever. He's only the second cabinet person ever to be impeached, and the first one in the last almost 150 years since the last guy, William Belknap, in 1860-something or whatever. Way to go, Joe and Alejandro. Well played. There will be a trial in the Senate. There will be impeachment managers from the House. No, the Senate's not going to convict him. Doesn't matter. It's all going to be on display, all going to be in the news. A victory for us. It's all about winning elections to stop the flow, deporting them, and getting them out. This is a plus for us. That's why I support it. And then today, Denver departments across every budget across Denver. We're talking the police department, Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Department of General Services, the Auditor's Office, Denver Police, Denver Public Safety, Denver Department of Public Health and Environment, Denver Animal Shelter, Clerk and Recorder for Denver, your court services, Department of Human Services for if you're needy, Department of Human Stability, the District Attorney's Office to protect you and your loved ones and get justice, and the Mayor's Office. All of them cuts, deep, bad cuts. $180 million is just the beginning right now. Denver is it's a large city, but it's not a major city. I mean, you might call it one, too. I'm not here to dispute that or get involved. But the point is, would you Google the population of Denver, producer Garrett? Garrett on the spot, rock star in my world. I think they got about 700,000 there, maybe? What do they got? I was right, 700. I was only 11,000 off. Not too shabby. 711,000 people. When you have $180 million out of the budget, that's a big freaking cut on that. That's a big freaking cut. What are we? Dallas is what, twice the size? More than twice the size? I think we have 1.5 million in the city. Maybe we're at 1.75 by now. Just in the city, not in the county. County's got 2.5. I was right, 1.28 million. Dang, am I good? Dang, am I good? On some things. So, I mean, do we have, we got an extra 500. No, we got 700. We have almost exactly double what Denver has. So for us, that would be $360 million cut from Dallas. That's approaching $500 million. You know what I mean? 360, you're getting close. You're only 140 million away from $500 million. That's insane. So you can put this in perspective. Gosh, that's what they teach us in radio school. I didn't go to radio school, into college. But they taught us to make it real simple. You got to give examples like, that's the width of a football field. Something people can understand. Well, there you go. That would be like cutting $360 million out of Dallas budget. That would be crippling, and you know that. So I have the Denver mayor. I want to play him real fast. I want to ask you some questions, too. I want call in right now. Chime in now. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I also have that the 5 of the illegals that beat the hell out of our New York cops are now in jail. Many of them let out. One of them was released and just was rearrested for, I think, armed robbery, and then was also released and was now just arrested for shoplifting with a crew. These are, I'll give you more details on this, but these are all of Joe Biden's illegals that are terrorizing, shooting at, killing us, raping us, murdering us, selling drugs to kill us, everything. Pimping women, pimping children, all of them. The most notorious gang in Venezuela is Tren de Aragua. They are operating in Chicago and Denver and Miami. Not Denver. Chicago, New York, and Miami confirmed all of them right now, and they are even morphing with MS-13 for temporarily usages to control everything, rape, kill, steal, destroy, and send it all back to their home countries to buy luxuries for people and drugs, and to get more drugs and to sell more drugs, to own us, kill us, enslave us, rape us, and make a ton of money off of robbing us and beating us down, including our cops or anybody that stands in their way, shooting at our cops, a separate Venezuela gang thug. Joe Biden has opened the spigots, and you have no freaking idea how bad it's going to be. We are just getting started. Questions I have for you are, do you like the effect all these illegals are having on all these Democrat sanctuary cities? Crippling cuts now to Denver, too. In New York City, Eric Adams says New York City is out of room now. He says people will soon be sleeping on the streets now. Do you like the effect all these illegals are having on these Democrat sanctuary cities? How much more crime and violence do you foresee coming because of Joe Biden's illegal invasion? I want to hear from you right now. Lines wide open, 4 lines open. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Thank you all so much for being here this morning. I'm here to talk a little bit about the devastating impact of the failure of Republican leadership in Congress this week to pass comprehensive immigration change, and the impact that will have on both city budgets and on services that we can provide for newcomers in the city. The second is we will start to have to greenlight a set of hard decisions about budget reductions across the city to meet those costs that we know will continue to arrive. We want to talk about two of those today. While they're the first steps, they unfortunately will not be the last and may not be the hardest. This is a plan for shared sacrifice. And so in terms of our first step on city cuts, we are announcing today we will make some changes both to our services at DMV and to our services on Parks and Rec. Thank you all so much. Announcing today we will make some changes both to our services at DMV and to our services on Parks and Rec. Thank you all so much.
Sorry about that. It's a tweet and it looped around. It's my fault. But there you go. Do you hear all the cuts at Denver? We were just also making fun of the sign language guy because it's like, dude, what do you? I love how they have sign language people, the virtue signal. Like as if there's somebody watching it that's signing and needs to, like, get out of here. Come on. But it's a virtue signal. They're going to have to cut that guy, right? He'll be the last one they cut. It's beautiful. I like it, guys. And I like the fact that these cities are being destroyed so they can finally beg and go to Joe Biden and force him to stop all this. It's too late for him to win the story on this for the election, but they're going to force him to do something, hopefully, or we will. Greg, I want to hear from you right now, by the way. Four lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. Do you like the effect all these illegals are having on these Democrat sanctuary cities like Denver, which you just heard there? Massive cuts across the board in every department, police, DA, everything, streets and sanitation, whatever. How much more crime and violence do you foresee coming in because of Joe Biden's illegal invasion? I'll give you more details on the illegal Venezuelan terrorist migrant that are terrorizing New York. There's a whole bunch more movement on that today. I'll share with you next. Greg in Fort Worth, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hey, Greg.
So my question revolves around employment of illegals, and I'll call them illegals because I'm not woke.
Well, they are. They're all illegals. That's definition accurate. Go ahead.
So if I, as an employer, and I employ about 125.
I'm sorry, 125 what, sir? You jumped off there. The signal kicked out for a second. You employ about 125 what, sir?
About 125 people.
Okay.
And if I'm doing my due diligence in the hiring process,
mm-hmm.
I'm collecting proper documentation that shows a right to work in the United States.
Right.
Typically an ID card and a Social Security card, typically. If I'm doing my job right, where are these people getting jobs? Now, I understand, I'm not naive. I know they're probably getting fake documentation. But what is this, the 1950s? I mean, how can an employer employ people, or are we just going to shake our head at the validity of documentation?
Well, the ones that are legally working, because Joe waved his magic wand, there's a very small amount of illegals in New York that have been given permits because Mayor Adams demanded something, because they're in the streets, they're starving, they're begging, they're pooping in cups because they've destroyed the urinals, the outdoor porta potties and such, and I'm not exaggerating. That's what the report said. But it was only a couple thousand, or I don't know, 10, 20,000 or something. It wasn't any of the 100 and some odd thousand. So they're trying to do more, but they can't legally work. The rest are, and this is exactly what I've been reading in the news, they're begging on the subway. They're begging on the streets. They got cups and they're shaking stuff, or they're buying candy and they're selling candy for probably double or triple the amount. And it's the Venezuelan illegal lady with the baby, or the kid with her, for sympathy points. And poor fools are actually giving money. I just wouldn't. I'd be like, I wouldn't say anything mean or anything, but I'm not going to give you money. I'm just not doing that. I'm not supporting the illegal invasion, you know?
So that does wonders for our economy.
in
there's
Denver,
absolutely
yes.
no contribution.
It's a black market from illegals. And then, by the way, they are making fake IDs, but it's to thug and kill, rob, and subjugate. The Venezuelan gang, when they busted in and broke into their area there to clear out all the stolen motor scooters that they're using to steal from everybody and destroy their city, they went in there, stole them, and they did a raid, and they found one guy had like one illegal from Venezuela had 125 false IDs, false driver licenses. I mean, they're operating wonderfully. Their terrorist and criminal regime in our country. We have such low fruit. We have money. We're fools. We got our heads in a phone. We're not looking around. Perfect to rob. Perfect. We lost your call, my friend, but I hope you got that. You can call back if you want to finish off your point there, brother man. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Danny in California, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello, Danny.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Welcome.
Actually, I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of the fact that Colorado or Denver is having an issue with the funds. It's a very bad move, obviously, by the mayor of that city or whatever. The problem here that I see is that. These guys. If there's no money in that particular city, they're going to start searching somewhere else.
They are.
And guess what? Who's going to be getting these people? Obviously, the state's right next to it. You got New Mexico right there. Texas is pretty damn close too as well. So I mean, they won't
be able to do stuff here because we won't let it happen. At least in. Dallas, Fort Worth, and they'll probably let it happen in Austin or San Antonio or El Paso, probably Houston, but it really won't play here that I'm aware of. The begging and panhandling, yeah.
Look.
Let me put you on hold because you have a deep call and I like it. Can I put you on hold so we don't rush this?
Yeah,
Stand by, friend. Stand by. I want to hear from you as well. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. There's some real desperate, sad things in Venezuela that's happening. I didn't get to explain to him yet that he wants to hear too. Trust me on that, and I want to hear the rest of his thoughts. Next on the Chris Crock Show on WBAP and News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Call in. We'd love to hear from you, too. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Lenny Kravitz just nominated for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yesterday or the other day. That's good. I like that. I'm down with that, yo. In just a few minutes, we'll have the Arlington police releasing a body cam of a fatal I-20 shooting. You'll hear it. It's riveting, and it's why they're heroes. And this officer that did what he had to do is a hero and should get all of our support and love. Also, there was a shootout as well for our Dallas police heroes. It's pretty crazy, guys, the wild streets that we have around us and the heroes everywhere protecting us. We'll get to that next, but I want to talk about these illegals, this invasion, and the wide cuts across several major, like tons of major budgets in Denver, public safety, transportation, infrastructure, DA's office, clerks, courts, $180 million. That would be equivalent of Dallas cutting $360 million out of our budget. That's how bad that is, and that's bad. You can get an idea on that. Now you're approaching $500 million into the city of Dallas. So that gives you a good clue on how bad this is, and I like that. I like the pain that they're going through. On the same token, before we get back to Danny in California with his great call, we're going to get deep with him. I also wanted to remind you of the illegals who are running wild and committing violent, organized not gang crime, that makes it sound innocuous for us, but terror gang crime, because that's who Tren de Aragua is. Tren de Aragua is now in Miami, New York, and Chicago. They did a home invasion, kidnapping, and murder of a Venezuelan man who was there legally in Miami. They used a honey trap with other illegal Venezuelan, undoubtedly prostitutes. That's what Tren de Aragua is very good at, prostitution. They behead the prostitutes who compete with their prostitutes. And and they are the worst gang in not only out of Venezuela, but they're now in 3 other countries in Central and South America, 3 or 4 other countries. Colombia, they're a big-time one, and it's like the narcos running wild in our streets. Joe Biden let them all in. And just to give you one more things, I wanted to hit this before we go right back to Danny in California and your call as well at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. And also, the question to have is, do you like the effect these illegals, all of them, are having on these Democrat sanctuary cities? How much more crime and violence do you foresee coming in because of Joe Biden's illegal invasion? I see a lot more. We're just getting started. It's horrific. The 5 illegals who beat the hell out of our New York cops, one of them posted $15,000 bail. 5 of them have been cuffed and stuffed. They had not. By the way, there was a church that fundraised for them and bought tickets and stuff. It's insane. And they actually defended them today. They dropped like $6,000 on them, or no, $15,000 for one of these illegals' bail. It's a Lutheran church, and they said we don't. They're innocent till proven guilty, and all this kind of stuff. So you better know what your money's going to at your church. Because supporting a crime syndicate and illegal transportation and invasion is not godly. And if your church thinks that, then I would get out of that church, in my opinion. But here's what I want to share. One of the illegals in the Times Square shooting, where they shot at cops 2 different times and shot a woman, one of them in that mob assault on the cops in Times Square has been arrested again, this time for participating in a coordinated robbery of Macy's in Queens. The 19-year-old terrorist from Venezuela, gang member, one of 4 charged entering the Queens Mall and acting in concert to steal clothes, hiding in bags. There was a struggle, and there was violence, and there was all sorts of bad stuff. They stole $608 worth of clothing, and another one was out on bail. The guy that did the attack on the cops, part of that mob that viciously attacked the cops, Fox News says. 3 of them were taken into custody in the Bronx Tuesday, nabbed at an apartment. DA's officers say they're currently in ICE custody. They also say the 19-year-old was wanted to the attack, also was arrested by police Wednesday morning on charges of robbery and petty larceny. He and 3 others still remain at large. He and 3 others still remain at large and stole $600 worth of clothing. So you have no idea how bad this is getting and going to get. Again, I'm saying we're just getting started. This is nothing. This is nothing. Wait for prostitutes being beheaded, children being pimped, and people being killed, and more deaths and more horror and terror. Let's go to Danny in California, who's patiently waiting. I appreciate you, Danny. Go ahead, sir, and continue with your thought. I think you're a great, deep caller. We may or may not agree. Doesn't matter. It's a good discussion. Go ahead, sir.
Well, yeah, thank you. As I was saying, I just obviously I don't agree with you this time around.
Tell me where we differ, and that's okay too. I know I'm not going to change your mind.
Like I just said, I don't like the idea. Mm-hmm. There's a big problem right now, and this problem, like you said, is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, the level of the amount of people that are coming in or they got here, it is unbelievable. I've been following. I do podcasts. I follow some bloggers and whatnot.
Yeah, it's 9 to 12 million. Not including the 1.5 million to 2 million gotaways. 9 to 12 million, not including those. Yes.
Yeah. The level of education and a lot of these guys are coming in. It is incredible. It's almost non-existent.
Yeah, we're hiring in a slave class.
Exactly.
And it's slavery.
We got a bunch of wild dogs right now out there.
Terrorists.
I'm telling you,
terrorists. We have thousands and thousands of terrorists preying on us.
Yes. Now we already had a lot of bad people to begin with.
Yes.
Now you add more to the pile.
Yes, sir.
Now this is it's gonna get worse. It is bad. It's just incredible.
Correct.
How this president just allowed this crap to go on like this.
Yes.
It's gonna be putting every one of us in danger.
Yes.
Every one of us. I'm talking anybody from, you're driving on the roads, you go into the stores, this and that, this is spilling out all over the place. I traveled down to Colorado, and I seen them in Colorado.
In Denver?
I know because I speak. Yes, absolutely, in Denver. I speak Spanish. I see him at the airports. I know exactly.
Yo hablo español también. Yo hablo español también, pero pienso que tú hablas más que yo, más bueno que yo.
No, claro que sí. Yo sí.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I go to the airport and I seen these. They're always carrying this little plastic bags, and they're carrying all the paperwork inside.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, they just, they obviously don't speak English. So they tend to, they see me and I start talking to them. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I got to be courteous to this. I can't just say, hey, they'll let you in, man. It's somebody else's fault. Obviously it's their fault as well, but somebody let you in. So, I mean, what can you do?
What do you mean?
But it's horrible, and I see them over there.
Where do we disagree? Oh, by the way, I wanted to say something about Denver that I read, and I played it on the air. There's a guy who's citizen journalist, and he was driving through. There's tons of them in some main thoroughfares or areas of the city. And you can see Tent City and everything, and he took video. There's one Venezuelan man who got like a yardstick or something and was trying to steal an apple. There's like a fenced-in area that the food is in for them, and they're starving. And so the Venezuelan man is trying to feed his daughter's family, and they're starving. And so he's trying to roll an apple over from the ground that's on the other side of this fence with a yardstick. I mean, it's third world desperation and starvation, and in the streets there. And there are Americans writing up English signs for the illegals, and there are Venezuelan illegals, for example, that I read of and saw in this report, that are begging in the streets, starving, and they have no money. They need to get the hell back to their country. And a lot of them said, a woman from Venezuela there said, I live better in my own country than I did like this. Good, get back. Go.
Yeah. So
we'll pay for your ticket. Go.
Yeah. So when I saw what I saw this time around is I went to a gas station, put some gas, and I saw a gentleman in his 20s walking in there, and he did not speak English at all. He looked like crap to begin with. He looked like just crossed the border.
Right.
And he was out there trying to order pizza and whatnot, and he didn't know how much it cost. Basically, he has absolutely no idea of anything. It's like throwing somebody in.
Now there's 12 million people like that across America now.
Exactly.
So let me ask you something. Where do you disagree with me? We got to go, and I got to let you go, but I want to finish by you telling me where we disagree. That's all.
What I disagree with is the fact that these people are spilling all over the place. If they're not being contained in one spot. So I mean, the fact that these people, the mayor of Denver, they're running out of cash.
I love it.
It's gonna hurt every one of us. It's not just
not
them,
me.
all of us.
Not me. I'm not in Denver. It'll hurt the country, yes, which means me too. But that'll hurt Denver, and they're brought to their knees. Denver's being brought to their knees. New York is, and Chicago is, and the voters of Chicago are disgusted with their mayor. One woman who's a black Democrat running for Cook County Commissioner chair she's a black Democrat, and she said that we're done, we're sick of this. It's these illegals need to get out of here, and we need to remove the sanctuary city now. We need to get this mayor out of here. So they're done.
Yep.
And that's good. That's what all this is good. Bring them to their knees, destroy them, bury them, make them change, or make them suffer. In their own, these are their policies. They love this. Enjoy it.
I think deportation has to be applied.
That's why Donald J. Trump must deport the 9 to 12 million of them, and he will to the best of his abilities. He will.
That's another issue.
He has a plan on that. He actually released a plan on what he'll do when he becomes president. The day he will. I've seen it. I've read it. Good.
All right. Let's hope.
I appreciate it. All right. Listen, Danny. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your call. Look forward to the next one. Great call.
Right on.
Have a good night. Thank you. I'm not sure where we disagree, but that's all good. Thanks for the call. Next, I have Arlington Police body cam footage. It is terrible, and it's terrifying and gripping. And then after that, that's Arlington Police where they shot and killed a man. And then after that, Dallas Police in a shootout It's what cops deal with, and you need to hear about this, and it shows why there are heroes. Next. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 214, what's our number? Not 214. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. I have too many numbers in my head. I have a small brain, so it takes a lot of energy to say the right thing. I'm almost as bad as our president. In case you missed it earlier, just a quick note on that. The NBC News, of all people, just came out today and said that several sources have reported to them that Robert Hur, the special prosecutor, never asked Joe Biden about his son's death or the date of his death. You know that? Joe Biden brought it up on his own in trying to remember things with his own, as he was giving his deposition. He was trying to remember some stuff, and then he mentioned, well, when my son died, and then he couldn't remember. He brought it up. So right now when he says that shame on the special prosecutor, he lied or he made up lies and it's not true, Joe either is so incompetent he forgot that he brought it up on his own, or he's totally lying to us and he remembers that and he knows he brought it up, but he is so done publicly with this and destroyed that he can only make up a lie. I personally think he doesn't even remember bringing it up. I think most of us do. I want you to hear why our police officers are a hero. This just happened with the Arlington police on I-20. They released a body cam today. A guy was driving erratically and wildly on the highway on I-20. Cop pulled him over, told him to go over to the right, the closest lane to pull over on. Instead, the guy went over 3 lanes, like stopped and was pulling over 3 lanes in the middle of I-20. When he got the car stopped and he came up on the side, the car reeked of marijuana. He ended up refusing to go, climbed onto the other side of the passenger seat. A second officer arrived in the middle of this from a nearby suburb, and he pulled out a gun and pulled it up, and then he got shot and killed by the cop, and he did a great job. Kennedale was the other officer that was there for backup. She was there, but she didn't shoot. I hope for her own sake it was because she couldn't see that he had a gun, because I hope she didn't not shoot because she was afraid of shooting. Got to do what you got to do. Here is the APD raw body cam footage. Let's see here. Here's the first one. Listen closely.
Down, I was trying to get over, but I didn't want to cross the.
No, I told you to go across that way, and you want to head this way.
I didn't see that.
Your vehicle smells like weed. You got a gun in the car?
No.
Do you have any weapons in the car? Do you have any weapons in the car?
No.
Huh? You should have done what you were told, man. I told you to get over that way.
I didn't see you.
I have a Kennedale officer out with me. Go ahead.
Wait, I didn't.
Turn your car off. Give me the keys.
It is on. It is on.
I need the keys. I tell you to turn the car off and give me the keys?
No, I didn't.
I just told you to turn the car off and give me the keys.
I'm not
Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Don't do that, please. Don't touch me.
Turn the car off.
Don't do it.
Turn the car off. No, you just turned it on.
Look.
Step out of the car then.
I'm not doing anything wrong, man. I'm
telling you to step out of the car because you just turned the car on again. Step out of the car.
I'm not doing anything wrong, sir.
Step out of the car.
Man, I'm not doing anything.
You are doing something. You just turned the car on when I told you to turn it off.
Then
hand me the keys then.
I'm not doing it.
Hand me the keys then.
I'm not doing that.
Give me the keys.
What are you going to do that?
See, you just turned it on again. Give me the keys.
Listen, it's dead. Don't touch me, man.
Give me the keys then.
Don't put your hands on me, man.
615 unit code.
Don't put your hands on me.
Give me the keys.
Don't put your hands on me. I'm not doing anything.
Step out of the car.
Don't put your hands on me, man. Don't do it.
Here's the second piece.
Turn the car off.
Don't do it.
Turn the car off.
Don't do it.
Turn the car off.
Listen, get your hands off me, man.
You got a gun? You got a gun in the car? Quit reaching around.
Listen, man, don't. I'm telling you right now.
Quit reaching around.
I'm telling you right now, get your hands off me, man.
Turn the car off.
Get your hands off me.
Turn the car off.
Get your hands off me.
Give me the keys then.
The keys are in the floorboard, man.
Give me the keys then.
Get your hands off me, man. Yeah, please, man. Ah. 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 Ah.
615, 1034. He's got a gun.
He's reaching. He's reaching.
Don't do it. Get your hands up. Don't do it. Get your hands up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Get your hands up.
And now it's going to happen. And here's the audio of that, a quick audio.
Don't do it. I'll kill you. Put the gun down. I know you will. Put the gun down. Don't do it.
Get your hands up.
Don't do it, man. Step away from my car.
And he's dead. And it's a righteous shoot, and that officer needs our prayers because even a righteous shoot hurts them very badly, and they will be suffering. That officer will be suffering for a long time. But he's righteous. You don't have to know his name. You never should. You never hopefully will, because he did his job, and he did it admirably, and there's no better shoot than that one. We'll have to hold on the DPD shootout. I'll play that one for you tomorrow. These are our heroes, and this is why they're my heroes.